Hey, what's good everyone? Theory here. We're back with some more Grand Blue, and today we got one of my own matches. So this was Grand Finals of the online series, Hearts of Blazing, run by Che Benji. If you're in Europe and you play on PC, you should definitely enter. It happens every Friday, I believe. I'll link to all the related media below. But we'll get right into it. So yeah, this was one of my matches. So this was grand finals. I was in winners, and Kingstonn was in losers. So Kingstonn, I would say, is a better player than I am. He plays Lance. I'm obviously playing the Diva as I always do. Um, so it was kind of uphill. I find this matchup particularly hard. Really fun matchup, but it's a difficult one for sure. We'll go in and talk about my game plan from the get go, right? So the first thing I was concerned about, and I think it's the hardest thing about this matchup, is Lancelot creating space. He's really good at it. And the EX Fireball, because I don't have like a on reaction special, like I have Lariat, but that's more of a read. I can't do it on reaction to the Fireball, at least I'm not able to, maybe someone else can. So it's hard to stop Lancelot just walking out of range and just doing that. And then with the other options, such as like slide being safe from the right ranges, and then you got the lunge, it makes neutral very difficult and feel like a very big scramble a lot of the time. So for me, I always want to close distance. I want to walk up, block, and that's exactly how this round starts. He walks back, which I expected him to do, and I walk forward, as I expected myself to do. So I'm just trying to close space, and you see I throw out the stand medium kick at like really early on, just like, all right, cool. Don't try and press any buttons here. Don't try and slide at me. And then we get the EX Fireball that I've been saying is the main concern of this matchup. When that happens, it's his turn. I make a read really early on to just like jump over it, which I don't think is a good read, but you have to do it sometimes. And I luck out because it makes his anti-air whiff. You see here, I'm just begging for it, another hit. I got a chance at a knockdown and didn't get anything. His jump back light punch just got away from me. And I'm lariating because I'm a scrub and I'm just trying to get a close the distance. Which was a relatively safe way of doing it, unless he slid or whiff punished with like something like far medium. I was, close in distance. You use the sweep as the diva because he was walking back and you want to catch them walking back. And it's not brilliant. It's good versus newer players that don't know to walk back and then down block, but versus someone like Kingstonn, who, like I said, I think is a better player than me, it's not that smart. So, get hit by the record series, and so this is obviously the mix, right? Rekka, is it going to be second Rekka? Is it going to be a button? But this Rekka was like quite poorly spaced. It was quite close, which normally, if it's further away, it's way harder to deal with. But when it's this close, I'm happy just pressing medium kick, going into the EX and taking my turn, get the knockdown, and yeah, just trying to do the pressure. Well, there's always so much to talk about with Lancelot. So when he does the EX, get out of there. You've got basically a three-way guess. There are some option selects for certain characters, like I don't know them for the Diva. I've not been able to find one that beats all the options. So you're making a guess a lot of the time. Is he gonna do the teleport down? Is he gonna do the downward slam? Is he gonna jump at you? And although maybe there's someone that can react to all three, I'm not that person. So when he does the teleport, the main thing I'm looking for, if it's really high up, I'll try and twat him out of the air. Especially from like a normal jump, it's quite easy. From the teleport, it's a bit harder. The main thing I'm looking for is catch you landing. Catch your landing frames, catch you pressing a button after landing. That's my main thing. And so I just opt to keep this target combo pressure going. When he blocks it, I go for the headbutt as a bit of like extra. No, you're frame trapped. Keep away. That's annoying, isn't it? So he jumps out. I managed to catch him on the other side. I think if he had hit a button there, I actually would have got hit, but doesn't, luckily. Actually, maybe he wouldn't have turned around. I'm not entirely sure. This target combo, because he was airborne, the third hit would have probably whiffed. I went for a lariat early on because I thought he would be low enough, but nope. and I could have just done an EX command throw, like an anti-air grab. Yeah, just not the smartest thing in the world, and now it's his turn. I have got meter, so let's look at that again. This is generally what you want to do versus this is, yeah, use your 5A, your 5L. You want to 5L after the wrecker when you block it, because you'll catch him doing anything else apart from second wrecker. And I've said before, the thing really is just fucking wait for the second wrecker, because if he does go second wrecker here, if he went second wrecker here, he would get a counter hit conversion on me, which would have sucked. It's kind of a risk me going for this. I could have just waited for the second one if it was coming and then took my turn back, with the only risk being getting hit by third wrecker, which knocks down. But I do it anyway. I don't get a confirm of this. The distance means that it's quite, you have to go straight into a special, right? And that's not happening. Yeah, caught me mashing buttons. You're going to see a lot of that. Me just fucking mashing out when I really shouldn't be. I've pretty much mashed every single knockdown here, which is just all kinds of dumb. Once again, I try and catch him in that landing frame, but just my reactions were not quick enough. And he's going to completely close out the round on me. Quite easy comeback for him. That's good shit. Oh no, shit. I mean, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, you see, I got counter hit on pretty much every wake up. You can tell I'm playing a bit, like, I don't know if nervous is the right word. I don't know how nervous one can be from an online tournament, but I was definitely feeling some type of way. I go for the early jump in here, because there is a logic to it. I don't know if it's a completely sound logic, but because I really want to establish myself in neutral early on, and not just in the like I'm pressing buttons sort of way. I want to stop him from doing that EX fireball so badly. It's all I'm thinking about in neutral is that. All my attention's there. But I can't just EX lariat all the time. I can't just normal lariat. I can't just sweep all the time. I have to mix it up. So going for a jump here, although it just gets smacked out of the air, and I really should have been reacting to him crouching. It's something that the better players are doing. It's like, oh, if the opponent's not doing anything, don't try and do a jump in attack, because the counter hit conversion will do way more damage. I do it anyway and get clipped out the air. Doesn't get a conversion, luckily for me. And yeah, that's it right there. Like, that's the really important stuff, is making a read on the fireball and trading with it. Obviously, I don't get pressure, but he's now not got the fireball. No punish on that, which sucks, but I do get a mix-up, which is good. I messed my meaty timing up on that empty jump SBD. Once again, jabbing out of the second wrecker pressure, which is fine. I go for the third headbutt just to mix it up. You got it. I went for the throw a bunch of times, so I wasn't expecting to land it again, but works out. That sucks, dude. Are my reactions terrible? Like, or did that? Yeah, my reactions are terrible. Maybe if I was closer, that would have worked, but I was super shocked that he was able to dodge out of that. And you can see now he's going for that second wrecker, right? He's seen that I'm pressing 5L every time he goes for the first one, and now he's starting to pressure me. And that might be a wrap. Lance's damage is super scratchy, so there you go. Gets it anyway. Yeah, you can see now he's throwing in the second wrecker pressure, and that's... So he's not just doing the first one and then trying to reset, he's going for the second one to catch me swinging at him. And I've swung, 3 times in a row now, so I have to adapt to that, I have to block a bit more. I think my main thing in this matchup is Lance will... Oh god, my inputs. I think I tried to reset it into SBD and just messed it up. Yeah, so Lance will be able to just put me in the corner, and Ladiva doesn't have a reversal, so putting me in the corner is going to suck. He's going to be able to pressure me pretty much unlimitedly, and that's the reason why I'm mashing quite a lot, is I want to catch him resetting pressure and running between buttons, but like, what doesn't click in my brain? And you know, I've got time, I've got 6 games potentially to figure all this out. What I'm doing is trying to catch him just going close B, dash, close B, or just like overcommit with like an overhead and catch him. But it's just, I've not established that I'm willfully blocking, and I'm just sat there like, cool, I'll let you just do whatever you like. I've not established that, so for all intents and purposes, it's not a mix-up for him. He can just do the frame trap, and it will catch me, because it has caught me every single time. So yeah, he was hesitating way too much there. I was kind of like, he's playing this super slow. He's going to jump at me. He's going to throw a fireball. He's going to run up and try and hit me with a button. I'm not having any of that. Him with the light lariat, just knock him over, get some space back on the screen. I went for the headbutt one, the throw this time, but yeah, you know, it's just a guess. Simple guesses. There you go, second record that time, so it is completely my turn. Like, I don't think I'm doing a super bad job of challenging him in these situations. It's just on the knockdown I'm doing a bad job. Oh man. Yeah. So let's talk about this whole sequence. I think this is. So he dashes. Let's go further back. Okay. So I'm pushing him to the corner. I throw the lariat in there because he's just walking back and forth. Like, lariat is not only good to catch buttons, but it's good to catch people trying to play very traditional footsies. You can react and just crouch it, obviously, but it's all about using a lot of options, none of them being like the most solid option, but all of them being good enough that you can't react to every single option at the same time. And that's what I went for. So I've jumped early on. I showed that I was willing to jump. I've used a lot of far medium kick. I've used a little bit of sweep. And that's allowed me to use lariat a bit more recklessly. Especially where I'm, concerned about the fireball. So put him in the corner here. I went into crouch jab, which means I just completely screwed up my combo. And that gave him the opportunity to off the wall and get out. So when he throws that fireball, you'll see a lot of lances jump after they throw the fireball reset, which you can just forward roll out of. He can catch you, but you saw he already was prepared for it and just went for the low. Yeah, I'm going to do this a lot in the match. You got to do it. You don't want someone to just be able to fucking empty jump on you. This option sucks so much. It's a really hard thing for Ladiv to deal with because it is safe, right? Yeah, that's just like a win either way. Yeah, it is safe. So him doing that, going, oh cool, you hit me with a far medium kick. Well, you don't have any options other than to go into headbutt or just block. So he can just throw out that super, and I get hit by a lot. It takes me like 3 matches to actually really consider that option as being a valid one, and I don't know why. I mean, it's like the Ladiva fever, right? You get a button and you're like, I'm gonna fucking hit all of the other buttons too, because you work for so long in neutral. We saw here, once again, I was really happy with how well I was reading the fireballs, because it was a massive concern coming into this matchup, going like, if he just throws out fireballs over and over again and I'm too far away to get a lariat, or I don't get the correct reads, I'm going to fucking lose for free. But I actually get it here. You get the counter hit, which means you can go into EX, and it means you can get an anti-air grab. Chunk of damage into a safe jump. Just going to keep him there. I tried to anti-air that, but it was way too late. Like I said, he's got a lot of options, so I need to stop doing that lariat. And that was the sequence. Like, you can see this is a bit of like nervousness going into a flowchart, right? We saw this before. We saw this exact same thing. He jumps over me. I whiff a lariat, which is by itself a bit dumb, because look, he's already spent his fireball. So what am I worrying about? I have the time and space to walk out of the corner, but instead I do the lariat and I do the sweep again to catch him walking back. And although this worked, I think it's symptomatic of like a bigger problem of going like, I don't know if this is like me cognitively thinking. That's how I feel about it. I don't think this is me going like, oh, I'm expecting him to walk back, blah, blah, blah. Like, I think this is me going like, oh, he jumped over me, I'm going to do the same thing I did before just because of some weird muscle memory. Luckily, I do get the sweep. I just go for standing pressure. This is like such a fantastic frame trap. I love this. So I saw a couple of times he was pressing buttons. So you do close L, close medium kick. On counter hit, you can convert into far medium kick, and it's fucking easy. Yeah, once again, I tried to jab him out of that. My timing is super off with this one. And now I'm cornered, and that could be a wrap. Let's see. Yeah, that mix-up's fucking terrifying. This was really smart by him. He saw how I was playing neutral quite a lot. I started running forward. I don't think I ever got to the point where I started baiting these properly. Maybe I did. Saw me running forward, throw out the EX lunge. Because I obviously wanted to get out of the corner, right? That everyone knew I wanted to get out of the corner. So throwing the EX lunge, especially at that range where it would have probably been safe, is incredibly smart. Yeah, there's so much hesitation here from me. You can see like whiffs coming out. Good shit, dude. Yeah, like you could see there was a lot of hesitation, right? I had him cornered, and I was just thinking in my head, oh shit, he can go off the wall, that can suck. Really, what I should be doing is throwing out things like a far heavy kick, because a conversion off that will kill him. And also it catches those low jumps, so low off the wall, and I think that's really important. And that was the, yeah, we saw once again I managed to beat out the fireball, which is really cool. This was one of those, it's kind of a grappler jump in. I think it's a little bit too close, but the grappler jump in is the classic of, if I am far enough away that I will bait an anti-air if I don't press anything, and I'm close enough that if I do hit a button, you're in block stun, and it's my turn. I think this might be a bit too close, but that's what I was going for there. I was just trying to catch him off the wall, and you can see that, like, with the jump L. But then, as soon as he did it, instead of just blocking and accepting the fact that the turn was over, I started mashing out buttons. I'm very bad for reacting to runs. I react to runs quite a lot and hit jab, which play too much cross-tekken in it. Being a bit more defensive now, and yeah, you can see he is adapting super quick to everything. So he got hit by that like twice. Now he's just happily down backing, blocking stuff. And I did clock onto that he was reacting. I think really, let's be honest, preemptively I should have adapted and just like made it a mix rather than show me that you're reacting. But there you go. Yeah, I think I don't hate that. I've been dealing very well with the Wrecker, so going for the sweep was fine. And once again, there's that nice little frame trap, which hopefully will open up the throws for me. Go for the overhead, and this should be dead. Yeah, so I'm basically hoping that the frame traps are going to open up other options in later rounds. I normally go for safe jump pressure rather than like stand jab pressure, but it's still really good. Nice little frame trap there. Once again, me just mashing on wake up. I think I've got a handle of the timing now. A lot of lances will do close B, run close B, and that's what I'm catching out. But I'm not being consistent enough, and kind of messed up the punishes. That, I mean, it wouldn't have worked regardless, but when you see a Ladiva do that, that is 90% of the time meant to be a 720. I do manual 720s most of the time, especially on pressure, so that was a mess up on my front. But I really like his read with the super. If I had gone for another headbutt, it would have gone through. Going for the throw, obviously it goes through. I had no other option than to block, and because blocking versus lance is like on aggression, like I don't like doing it that much. I'd rather do like a jab, and then even if he goes for the EX reversal, I can still block. It's just caught me swinging, you know what I mean? And that's the bracket reset right there. So it's not looking bright for me. But I think there was a lot of stuff there we established. Like we established that we can deal with fireballs and we can do okay in neutral. And I think that's an important thing to establish early on. It means a bit of lag on this recording, but it means that he has to change how he plays the matchup. He can't just be relying on something that I think does very well versus Ladiva. Alright, we see what. Oh god, I hate watching myself play sometimes. Just seeing me mash is unbearable. Alright, he's gonna get the. I know exactly what that was. In my head, I was like, he's gonna go for the fireball reset, and I'm gonna try and roll out of it. because he's going to be worried about the super, which he should be. So he'll probably go for the fireball reset and then jump, and I'll roll out and punish him. Didn't work out like that. He went for a completely different punish, which is awesome. Yeah, I've been doing the target combo a lot, and he's good at taking his turn back. So I think this was like quite a calculated risk, and it gives me my turn. Just the scrappiest resets. Yeah, so this is what I've been trying to do. Like, I feel like my reactions started to hone themselves a little bit. Reacting to that way better. Catching him out of the air. I didn't get a full conversion, but it doesn't matter. I got to reset into the command throw. Oh, you hate to see it. Okay, yeah, he whiffed this a couple of times, this mix-up. So I was like, I'm going to fucking jab it, because I know you're going for it, 'cause it's so good. But he messed it up a couple of times. I'm like, alright, I'm going to take advantage of that. And I do. And I got EX headbutt. I do think I need to start reacting a bit better with those anti-air grabs, though, for sure, to convert. I'm kind of happy with how I'm playing in this round, even though standard wake-up jabs, but, you know, I think it's okay. He's got a double overhead jump in. That's terrifying, so you're going to get hit by it sometimes. You just hold that shit. And I have not learned my lesson at all. Yeah, you need to bait it. I mean, luckily it doesn't do a grip of damage. But you need to be able to bait that shit. You can't just be aggressive when Lance has got that much super. Otherwise, you're asking to get fucking bodied. Alright. So 1-0 to him on the reset. I thought I was going to get close L there. Unfortunately, I didn't. He's standing into a lot of these lariats, by the way. So, to me, it implies that he's trying to walk out of throw range. So I'm going to keep doing the lariat. That was a mad anti-air, but we'll hold that shit. Trying to make a hard read on the throw with the overhead. Doesn't work out, and it's just going to be a bit of a mauling here. He's got the fireball to reset. And there it is. There's the jump, double overhead, and that'll be a wrap. So yeah, wasn't going well for me at this point. I was kind of getting mauled, but I feel like the points where I was getting mauled, it's just impatience on my part. You can block Lance. He has good mix. Like, in the corner at least, mid screen is kind of shitty, but I just need to be more patient. I can't keep jabbing. I think there are things that I'm doing very well. Like, every one of my lariats is connecting to block, and I think it's all to read on his movement more than anything. So I'm happy about that. I'm really happy about that. But it's just the defense is not good. Right. I can actually punish with heavy there, which I should have done, but it kind of works out regardless. So we're going to put him in the blender. He EXs out, and I'm fine with that. Just playing this mid-range. You see, now, it took this long. I am now not doing EX headbutt. I did a bunch of them in a row, which weren't EX headbutt, because I'm scared of that super. Thank fucking God I adapted. It only took 4 games, but finally. Didn't actually bait anything, which is hilarious, and then still went for the EX headbutt. But you got to do it. Alright, he's definitely getting better at dealing with lunge. He's finally adapting to it, which he needed to. Go for the knockdown. I went for the... I like to do whiff jab into SPD a lot, so I thought I could catch him, but it doesn't work out. And I'm just, you know, I've established that I'll cancel into headbutts so many times. I was just like, fuck it. I can just go for the raw target combo reset. Once again, trying to jump out. I did it again. I'm so angry at myself for lariating that much in that exact same situation. Yes. Good shit. And then there I was like, he either goes for the wrecker, which I'll SPD, or I'll super, or he runs in, which I'll get with a super. And the risk just wasn't there. Like, he would have cornered me, and obviously, like, I've shown I'm not that good when I'm cornered, but still, I could have just gone straight sweep. Once again, reading the fireball, which I'm super happy about. Get a whiff punish, nothing major though. I should really be whiff punishing straight into the target combo. I think I'm dealing better with his air options, which is cool. Gonna get a mix here. And block on that. See, that's what I was saying about the... Oh god, I don't know why I did that, I'm such an asshole. That's what I was saying about why I don't really like make that many big reads on it. So I just get the SBD here, right? Get a jump in, and I just I try and reset my target combo into an L, and no matter what he does from the reversal, it's not gonna hit me because the L recovers too quickly. Obviously, he can get out of the corner, which is fucking terrifying, but it's fine. Like, it didn't happen. The read was okay. Playing slowly, and it's good that I'm doing this because I basically had established I was going for Lariat every single time, which I need to, but played it a bit slower there and varied up my timing, which is important to make sure that Kingstonn can't just start adapting like one-to-one. That's the range, by the way. That's the range where Wrecker is super good. Let's go back a bit more. So you see right here, it's just far enough that I don't think my far L will connect. So that allows him to do things like, you know, his own far L, which is way better. And it'll whiff punish me, it'll catch me out, it sucks. He just has to delay slightly. Big read on the jump, on the wake up super, and I get caught. Yeah, just really good. Looks like very good aggressive reads. I'm still going to be doing stuff on defense. Like, I feel like you have to actively defend versus Lancelot, but you know, somehow avoiding this bit of chip. He has to connect with 2 specials. Oh, that could have been the game. I'm still getting the conversion though. Let's actually talk about this conversion because it can be super janky and maybe it will help other Ladiva players. I definitely need to do it a bit better than I do currently. So I get the counter hit, right? And it was too high up. Also, I don't have to cancel that early. So when it's really high up, when you hit the 2H really high up, you have 2 options. You either wait for them to come down and then connect with like a close L or a close M and convert that way. It's not that much damage, but it's really consistent and very easy to do, so it's worth doing. I want to get the 2H into counter hit Lariat, which you have to cancel the first hit of the 2H to do that, and that's where the issue arises with this anti-air. If they're high up and you hit with the counter hit, obviously you need to cancel quickly because you're going like, oh shit, if I don't cancel quickly, I get the second hit of 2H, and this will no longer combo because I'm going into B Lariat, which allows me to do like another button into H Lariat. But realistically, I should have done 2 hits of the Lariat and gone into A Lariat, and I may have got a pick up with the L's, or just did the 2 hits, waited for him to get lower, and then just gone into a target combo air throw or target combo Lariat. That would have been fine. This was very much like, I'm at a life deficit, I want to get that back, I need to gain meter as well. I went for the major combo, but yeah, just looking at the spacing now in retrospect, it wasn't there. It was close, but still. Caught him pressing buttons, which is a very nice feeling. Put him to the ground, and it's just one mix-up now. Yeah, that's... Oh, that sucks so badly. So yeah, the overhead with Ladiva is not... It's a good overhead, don't get me wrong, but it's mainly to catch jumps, and that's what I thought he would be looking for an SBD here. So that's why I went for the overhead, and it did work. That is just a whole bunch of whiffs. If you're going to do that, when he teleports that close, you have to jab later, otherwise you won't turn around. But it sucks. It's a really hard situation to deal with. And yeah, this was just funny. I love making this hard read on the throw. I know that Lancelot's like to do that, and there were a couple of times where he would just dash down and throw me. So I went for this. Now I went for heavy here as a reset. People, when they get hit by surprise overheads, like in those weird situations, love pressing buttons. So I was like, you know, Ladiva actually doesn't get that much off a counter hit overhead because it leaves them crouching, so you have to go into headbutt. So I wanted to reset. Doesn't work out, he blocks it, but it's fine, it's still my turn. I have headbutt anyway, and that damage I just got there is probably the same damage I would have got if I fully converted. Cat, like, it's doing a way better job of dealing with the teleport, and there we go, air throw, don't jump back. And we've established a lot of stuff in that match, right? A lot of stuff. One, I'm willing to make big reads on your throws. Even though you're playing Lancelot and you have a lot of options, that worked, so that's really powerful. We're grabbing you out and jumping back in the corner, so that should give us space now to hit more grounded pressure when I corner him. And two, even though it wasn't there, we're dealing a bit better with this teleport, which is the hardest thing. I think he goes for the teleport too much, to be honest. If he took a bit of that teleport out of his gameplay, it might have been a bit easier. Doesn't get the whiff punish on that lariat, which sucks for him. Oh, yeah, this is like a little strategy which I quite like to use. Just neutral jumping at that range, especially with splash, is pretty good. It catches him running forward, catches him off the wall. He can do stuff to bait it, obviously, but it's good to throw him. I mean, once again, if you saw... Yeah, good shit. Me. If you saw, we punished him teleporting again with the air throw. You can go into SBD. I find air throw easier to react with, unless I'm actually going for the hardest read. I'm more going like, oh, I'll either air throw you on reaction to you jumping or hit a normal. So it allows me to react a bit better. If I SBD, I don't know, I could just use easy inputs, but if I find it harder to react to, either way. Oh yeah, let's talk about this bit, because actually I like this round start option. I had a feeling that since he'd been walking away and throwing fireball a lot, and even though it is the best thing Lance can do, I had been dealing with it, I'll say, surprisingly well. So I thought he was going to either move forward or jump, and this shouldn't catch jump, but it can catch moving forward. So I just went for that hard raid. He was crouching, unfortunately. I believe this was startup of like slide or something. Let's have a look. It looks like startup of slide to me. Maybe not, but I mean, he's crouching, so it must have been startup of some low normal. And this is something you should do versus the Diva a lot. If you're going to run up buttons, run up low buttons, because the last thing you want is her buffering a fucking EX lariat behind a massive button, because it's going to hurt. The worst case scenario of me catching you out with pressing a crouching button at mid-range normally is just going to be a headbutt. That headbutt, yeah, it leads to the mix. The mix is really hard to deal with, but it's at least not a quarter of your health. And that's a big difference. He stands into the lariat anyway, so it kind of works out for me, but just doing a good job of taking his turn back. Actually varying up his teleport options, which he needed to do a bit earlier, but better late than never, eh? Yeah, this is, because it was like once or twice where I jabbed him out of this sort of pressure. He's doing a way better job of just frame trapping me now, just keeping those options super varied. Not going for throws, which is fucking funny. Maybe the overhead convinced him. Then it's me mashing and getting slapped for it. I definitely, yeah, I need to vary up how patient I am. I'm just not patient on defense, which is fine sometimes because Lancelot just doesn't do grips of damage. But, you know, you got to vary up everything. Yeah, this sort of stuff, it's like, I've eaten so much damage from this. Oh yeah, this is, everyone's seen this reset, right? You go for the headbutts, you go into heavy, and then you get the target combo. I went for a throw there, but he jumped, you know, smartly teleports out. No, he messed up that mix-up again. The clashes are actually really hard for Lancelot to deal with. Here, if you've got the reaction, I can go for SPD, and unless he does his reversal, he can't do anything about it. I don't go for the SPD, I just cancel into the light. I guess the range, I was a bit concerned about the range, but still. And we've seen that situation before. I mean, the corner, I want to move out. EX lunge is the best thing to keep you there. And he still has a fireball, which, yeah, that's scary now. Yeah, happy with that. That's exactly what I need to do versus this character. I see that, I punish him pressing a button on the ground, get the EX headbutts. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I'm not good enough normally to make these sorts of reads, but I had a 720. It's just simple math. The 720 is going to scare the shit out of him, because if I land it, I win. Gives you perfect opportunity to get an air throw. I mean, realistically, right, like, if we rewind this a little bit, in this situation, I should just be doing a fucking button. Like, the air SPD, it's sick, You feel good about yourself, but I can just do a button here. I guess I was also thinking about the teleport, the EX teleport, and would catch that. But like we discussed before, even if I whiff like a jab, right, and he EX teleports, I'm still in a position where I can make that a read on his options. If it does hit, I can cancel into 720 anyway. You know, either way, I go for it and it works out. So that's fun. And there we go. Just easy whiff punish for the end. I think that must have been an input error on his part. Maybe not, but kind of felt like one. So that was it. I mean, I think there was a lot there that I was doing wrong. I think my defense was fucking terrible. I think my neutral was pretty good. I mean, it's Ladiva versus Lance. There's only so much neutral you can get. But if we look at it, I was quite consistently punishing some of his better options. And that was my entire game plan, was revolving around punishing the fireball and making sure he was scared of putting it out. And I was able to do that. So I'm really happy with that. I mixed it up just enough with the farm medium kick, and just like kind of walking around the corner, walking into the corner, mix it up a little bit, which I'm happy with. The jumps were good. So even though, you know, it's a scrappy neutral, but I felt okay about the end result of it. Defense was bad, really bad. I was not patient enough. I lost that first 3 games basically because I mashed on wake up every single time, and I didn't stop doing it even in the end sets. I just had a better offense and a better control of some certain options, like him jumping into teleport and stuff like that. So that was all okay. I mean, there's a lot to learn there. I do really enjoy that matchup. It can feel a bit like I'm playing the game wrong, just going for the EX Larry, because I just don't really do that as much as I probably should in neutral. I do it a bit, but you have to go for it here, and that can feel a bit shitty. But fuck it, it's a matchup. You gotta do what you gotta do. Anyway, hopefully that was fun. Like I said, if you are in Europe and you are playing on PC, go join Hearts of Blazing. It's a fun tournament. You can come mash me up. I was very lucky that Rix wasn't there to beat me with fucking Ferry. But next time he does, we'll probably do this again because it's quite fun. Although very stressful looking at how much I mash. I can kind of see why people don't want to play me online. Makes sense. But yeah, take care and have a good one.